This is a great mid-century modern Bassett nightstand set that Kate's going to refinish.
There's a little damage on the top and it took forever, but let's see what we can do with this. I'm just going to start by taking off the hardware and putting it in these labeled bags. I like to keep myself nice and organized. So it's weird, this hardware in the back had tape holding it together. You can tell that was probably original because it was super brittle and it fell off, so we're going to clean that up later.
Yeah, I've actually never seen that before, any of the pieces that I've had.
It's so weird. Then I vacuumed it out and then cleaned it with a degreaser. Now we're ready to strip the piece. Oh my goodness, there was so much stain on this, so stripping was a must.
It's not very detailed, but I had done the long dresser in this piece, and it was a very thick finish, and so I know it was taking you a long time.
Yeah, it took me an embarrassingly long time, but you know what? Every day made a little progress. I'm using a carbide scraper to get off the stain, and then I'm going to come back through with some steel wool and some acetone to get the rest of the finish off.
Yeah, our goal is to try to get as much of that finish off as possible because that will hopefully help the sanding process.
So now it's time for the sanding process. First we start with 80, then we go to 120, and then finish off with 180. I like using the machine. It helps save my hands so much, and then I'll go back and hand sand the rest of it later. I had used this micro sander to get into those little details because there was a lot of stain stuck in there. Then I went on and sanded the drawers. Then I figured out I had a little piece of veneer that shifted off one of the drawers, so I had to fix it. First, we put a little bit of glue on, and then I tried to put a little piece of veneer on, but it just came right back up, as you can probably tell. And so I had to reapply the glue. And after that, I reattached it. I rubbed off the extra glue and then taped it up.
We like to, if we have any loose veneer, I prefer to re-glue it instead of trying to fill it in with wood fill. I do feel like the veneer, if you have it, just glue it up. It's just much better than trying to fill it in. So, good job, Kate.
Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to start the hand sanding with the 120 grit. So sometimes when I use the big machine sander, it can make the finish kind of blotchy. So this is really smoothing out that finish and also the sanding pattern.
Yeah, those little sanding swirls, depending on, how hard you're pressing on your sander, you can get those. So what are you doing here, Kate?
Here we're putting on some oxalic acid.
Right, because it was a little blotchy. So this one, you just mix some powder with some warm water and you apply it like you're putting on paint. So I believe you did this on the whole thing, didn't you?
I did, the drawers, the body, and the base.
And then once you let it dry, then you can come back and rinse it 3 times and then you can move on.
And now begin the staining process. This also took a long time. But all I did was I applied the stain, let it dry for like a few seconds, and then wiped the excess off.
And we're using Antique Brown. I believe this is
Yes, ma'am.
Antique Brown. This is their water-based stain by General Finishes. It's a beautiful kind of a medium, I would say a medium rich brown.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
On this piece, for some reason, it took a lot darker. I just think it was because the type of wood it was. We don't really know what type of wood it was, but it turned out beautiful.
You really did.
And then it was time to put on a top coat to make sure the finish was nice and sealed.
There she is. She's doing a good job. This is a lot of work. She did a couple coats. I believe this is by Minwax. It's their warm flat. And then she's ready for hardware.
So for the hardware, there was some like weird stuff on it, so I tried to sand it off with a very high grit. However, I didn't show it here, but it ended up actually scratching the hardware, and so I had to come back and re-smooth it out. But I put a spray painted it gold, and it turned out gorgeous. And next was attaching the hardware.
Last step is we're just going to refresh some of the interior with some Restore Finish, and then we're going to line the drawers.
Loved this wallpaper.
It's
it was
beautiful.
So pretty.
White with a little bit of a gold metallic. I think it fits the piece because it kind of has that gold. It kind of ties in with your gold hardware.
Very classy.
We're going to go pick up that dresser. Let's look back at the before. You had some damage on the top.
And on the sides, it was a lot of work.
It
but
was.
Here's the before, and here's the after.
Beautiful. I love your finish. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Really nice. Thankfully, there wasn't a lot of veneer damage, and so you were able to get a really beautiful refinish. You ended up selling them. What'd you post them for?
$5.25.
$5.25. That's a good profit. I didn't charge her anything, so this is total profit. She's saving up for a laptop, so this is going to be a really good part. Well, thanks so much for watching. Tell us what you think down below.